Okay, so we're back. I said we're back. Oh. I'm sorry. We had technical difficulties. It's going to be raw as ever. So we have Stevie with us. Do you like to be called Stevie or Stevie?
I actually love being called Stevie, but for professionalism, I'm billed as Stephen D. Clark.
Stephen D. Clark.
And I actually did Stephen D. Clark, I think, in 2013, because for some reason, people could never find me on like social media. Mm-hmm. I was just using Stephen Clark, and like a bunch of Stephen Clarks would pop up.
Yeah.
So I just
that's a common name, though.
Yeah, it is. It's very white bread as hell. So I just said, you know what? A lot of people use their initials in their professional names and stuff like that. So Michael B. Jordan and stuff like that to, you know, because if you just walked around calling yourself Michael Jordan, it's like, oh, you're the basketball? No, I'm not the basketball player. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. But yeah, so I'm professionally known as Stephen D. Clark, but I usually like, just call me Stevie.
So you act, right, Stevie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how did you get into acting?
I got into acting when I did a play in 2009. It was called No More Compromising. Mm-hmm. It was written and directed by this female evangelist named Sharon. Now, Sharon has a great heart, and the play had a great message. The writing was no shade, because she had her heart was in the right place, but the writing was not good. But it was a foot into the acting world. Was it
her first time around writing? Or?
No, that's the thing. I actually found out about her from a play I saw with Amanda and Kwame. Mm-hmm. That's my aunt, my cousin, by the way. And it was sort of the same play. She cast me as a drug dealer named Murder One, but I can't swear. So I was like, how am I? Yeah, I know. Make a long story short, I felt like I was the only person in the play that actually was doing some like research, where everybody just kind of came in, did their thing, and then left. I kept thinking to myself, how am I supposed to sound physically intimidating without swearing? And this is gonna sound a little weird, but I was home thinking about this, and I came across a cartoon that I used to watch when I was younger called Yu-Gi-Oh! And there's a character in the cartoon named Seto Kaiba, who's a rich billionaire who he never smiles, he's always angry, he screams at the top of his lungs, but it's obviously a cartoon, so he doesn't swear. So in order for me to play this drug dealer, I had to emulate a rich Japanese billionaire. Mm-hmm. So that's where the method acting sort of came in.
But that's a good thing that you do research your stuff, because a lot of actors don't. And I don't know how they feel like they're going to get that far without, researching stuff. So I've seen that you were casted on a new play. It's called Pandemic Love. You want to tell us more about that?
Yeah. So Pandemic Love is about two lovers who meet through a dating website. And the dating website is called Pandemic Love. My character is named Sam. And he's very neurotic. He overthinks everything. He actually starts the play with a mask on. Keep in mind, these two people are talking through Zoom. And it's like, yo, what is wrong with you, dude? Mm-hmm. But when I read it, I said, oh, I think I can play this. But a lot of the rehearsal process was kind of funny, because there would be times where I had to kind of dial back my swag, so to speak, and
because of the
character, and the director said, yeah, I don't think Sam would say that. And I went like, oh dang, he probably wouldn't. So I had to kind of emulate, I had to take inspiration from a lot of different people. Mm-hmm. One inspiration was my best friend JD. He overthinks everything. He's a
Pisces. I said that it has to be either a Pisces or a Cancer, because we overthink everything.
No, JD is a Cancer. His birthday is the 4th of July, but he's one of those people where I'll see him. We'll be out just at a restaurant, whatever. A girl, he'll walk by. He goes, yo, I think I know her. And I go, yo, get up and start talking to her. He goes, what do I say? Hi.
Oh my God.
And
that's KJ in the back.
He goes, well, what if she doesn't like Pokemon? And I went, God, you're such a geek. And that's what I mean by like overthinking. And I had to kind of use a little bit of that and kind of think about how I was when I was in high school.
Yeah, coming up.
So that's kind of how the character kind of came to be.
What's that movie that the guy he put himself in a role and it was like hard to come back? It was a movie. I'm not sure who was it. Zac Efron? The movie with what is his name? The serial killer, and he was going on. It was like on a Netflix show. It was a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
Button or
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy. Yeah, he put.
Yeah, that was Zac Efron.
Yeah, he said that it was hard to come out of that. Like he had to put himself in like this character. Like, do you feel like you have to do that a lot, where you put yourself in like a character and then it's like hard to come out?
It depends on the character, because a character like Ted Bundy, who's a monster, so to speak, he's notorious serial killer. You have to kind of put yourself in the mindset of I am not a good person. When I walk on set, I can't be who I am, and I kind of relate to that sort of mind process, because all right, Heath Ledger, who played the Joker in The Dark Knight, he would like lock himself in a room.
That was such a good movie.
Great movie. Great performance. He posthumously won for Best Supporting Actor after he passed away in January of 2008. Can't believe it's been that long already. So he would lock himself in a room and look at like morbid pictures. And he would come out, and there's actually a famous scene in The Dark Knight where he walks into a ballroom in character, and he shoots a gun toward the ceiling. Now, the actor, Michael Caine, he was supposed to say a line, but he was so taken aback by what the hell he saw. He just was so like,
what the fuck?
Oh my God, or something or whatever he said, but he didn't say anything, but he was supposed to, because that was his raw reaction. And the director, Christopher Nolan, said, yo, we're keeping that in. So, the only time I think I've had to go full method acting is when I did a play last year called The Boys Next Door, where I had to essentially play someone.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Right. I played a character named Lucian P. Smith, who is severely mentally challenged, like to a high degree. And I kept thinking to myself, how am I going to realistically play this character who, I know it's not politically correct to say this, but retarded. And I said, oh God, I don't want to look like I'm, going da-da-da. So I visited a friend of mine who works at the CP Center in Roosevelt.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
I used to work there.
Yeah, so I went there to just kind of walk around. A girl that I went to high school with, she works there, and I just asked her if she could just kind of show me around, and I just kind of observed, and I didn't really take much notes. Well, physically, I would just kind of absorb
their day-to-day life and what they do. Yeah, right.
And I also was a volunteer at this place called Abilities in Mineola. And I had to look after a lot of mentally challenged children. I didn't get paid for it, other than the $20 a week I got for bus fare. But I did that while waiting to get my job at the sanitation department. So I'm going all over the place. But
what made you get into acting, though? Like, why did you, like, I known you pretty much for years. You know what I mean? So it's like I never really even knew you was into acting.
See, that's the thing. I've always wanted to be an actor. Like, even from when I was a little kid. You don't know this story. I've never told you this story. But when I was, I think about 8 or 9, I remember I was playing with my brothers, Stephon and Stefan. Shaquille and Shaquem. Shaquille
I think
was
I remember
here.
this story.
Shaquem, I don't think Shaquem was born yet. We were playing around and something fell, and I remember yelling, "Cut! Let's do that again." No kidding. I swear on my grandmother. I remember going, "Cut! Let's do that again." Pretending I was a director in a movie, and that's something I always wanted to do. But somewhere down the line, I just kind of saw it as an impossibility. which is why I never mentioned it to my mother that I wanted to be an actor, and I wanted to do something I thought was more realistic, which is why I taught myself how to draw. I was a beast artist. I would like sketch in my notebook. I would draw pictures of like Pokemon.
You did.
Like off the card, it would look exactly like the card. I was a beast. You know, humble brag, but nobody was touching me, and it's when it came to art.
You did.
And I wanted to take that, and also with my love of video games, and get into the gaming industry.
Right.
And maybe, you know, do something with that. And it was only until, and I always saw it as impossible until I saw an episode of a show called Inside the Actor Studio. Now, James Lipton, who sadly passed away this year, he would interview famous actors and talk about their, humble beginnings and where they are currently in their career, stuff like that. And one of the actors he interviewed was Bradley Cooper, who went to that school that he essentially taught at. And they even showed a clip of Bradley Cooper before he was famous asking Steven Spielberg a question about, was it Steven Spielberg? No, he was asking Sean Penn a question about Hurly Burly. But the thing that stuck with me the most is when he asked Robert De Niro a question about Awakenings. And Robert De Niro, Bradley Cooper has gone on to star in 4 movies where Robert De Niro was the supporting actor. Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing to me. And to think that this dude was essentially me.
Where you starting at.
Exactly. And I just went...
You just have to believe in yourself, and you just have to keep going.
Exactly. And that was where I said, holy crap, it actually is possible. And that's when... and this was also in 2012. So that's when I decided to really start doing something about it. But what made me start taking acting classes, one of my good friends, Don, oh my God, he ripped into me one day at work. Because I was a talker. And he kind of just turned around and he looked at me and was like, Steve, I'm getting sick and tired of you just talking. What are you doing right now? I said, well, it's not that cheap. And he goes, Steve, you're never going to be an actor.
You have to invest in yourself.
I know, but I took those words as like, oh, you're a hater. But oh my God, I got home. I was like just kind of pacing in my room like, I'm never going to be an actor. Nervous guy. I'm going to prove him wrong. And I had a PlayStation 3 that allowed me to go on the internet. And I just remember looking up acting schools for like maybe 3 hours.
But that made you go.
And I always told Don, not if, but when I do win my first Oscar, he's either going to be the first person I think or the last person I think. Because...
But you know what I say? Like a lot of things, like even with myself, like when people give me like backlash or like people give me like, what is it?
Constructive criticism?
Yeah. When they doubt me, that makes me work even harder. Like, you know what? All right, I'm about to show you some shit. Like, I'm about to jump in my bag and I'm about to show you exactly what I can do.
Nothing pleases me more than laughing in someone's face and proving them wrong. And that's why I
always have to laugh.
If you look at facts, and if you look at all my any posts I got on Facebook or even TikTok for that matter.
Let's get into TikTok because you've been on TikTok crazy. You did this one TikTok where you said that it took you like, how long did it take you to do that TikTok?
Which one are you talking about?
When you was like, you said you want some space.
You
literally, did you see that TikTok that Stevie did?
So that one took me about...
Tell everybody your TikTok name first.
My TikTok name is Stephen Clark JNR, which is short for Junior. And I hopped on TikTok because of my youngest sister and my three nieces, who up to that point have been on TikTok for a long time, but they just did dances. And it's something I just kind of heard about. I was just like, it's a
everybody was saying like, oh, you're a loser if you go on TikTok. And then now everybody's on TikTok.
Right. But a lot of people who are now big on TikTok literally joined only back in March because of the pandemic. And I joined, I think, back in June. That's when I hopped on TikTok, and I just kind of.
You should have. You always do your dances.
Seriously,
You're not too late. You could always get on there.
I hopped on TikTok, And I just said, what would be my niche? Because I just kind of hopped on. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
so I just said, you know what? I'm going to film myself doing an impression of this guy from Family Guy. I don't know if you remember the guy in the wheelchair, Joe Swanson.
Yeah.
He just kind of sounds like, hey, Peter, me and Bonnie was wondering if you let us borrow
I'm
your
just
screw
like
drive. I did that. So I did that, and I got a lot of positive feedback. So I said, well, maybe my niche will be impressions. But then my second impression video, I did a impression of Mufasa from
Yeah,
Lion
I've
King.
seen that. That was really, really good.
That got
You was on the For You page.
I was,
was
but
on
it
the For You
got
page.
no traction, and I just said, oh well, I guess maybe I shouldn't do that. So I just kind of didn't touch TikTok for about 2 weeks, and then. With all the Black Lives Matter protests going on,
that's
there was a
when
lot
we started
of
like being, because you could see it like raw edit
my
of
goodness.
the rioting and
Yes.
the protesting. Like
Yeah.
it was on TikTok
That's
for
what
real.
real.
Like it wasn't on Instagram. It wasn't on Facebook. It was like on TikTok.
No show me video. We was up for hours watching.
Yeah, I
videos.
used to go to sleep
Dog,
watching them.
it was, but the thing that hit me the hardest was when I saw a video that literally took place in Merrick, up the block from my job. And this day is where I started. I went back on TikTok. I went to the bank. It was the first of the month, I think, first of June or something like that. It was the first of the month, and I was going to the bank to, take out my rent money so I can pay it or whatever. Now, this was at a time where the lobbies were all closed, and you can only do drive-through banking or whatever. So I went to the bank. I'm online. I'm behind this car. The dude behind the glass, he's talking to this white woman, right? I pull up to the window. He looks at me. He only says one thing to me. He goes, "How can I help you?" I just said, "Yeah, I need to make a withdrawal from my savings." And he just looked at me and was like,
I remember this.
and then I remember just kind of looking at him, and I noticed he was very cold towards me. So I just was like, when you could just sense something is not right. So I just kind of went like, "Oh, it's a nice day today, right?" "Oh boy, I tell you." And he literally just looked at me and then looked back at his computer, and I said,
You fucking asshole.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I take racism very it does hit me a little hard when it happens
As you
initially.
should, though.
So I went home and I posted it on Instagram what happened. And my teacher and one of my castmates from Riverside and Crazy, another play I did last year, they both called me back to back. Actually, I spoke to my teacher, my acting teacher, for about an hour, and then my friend Christine spoke to me for about an hour. And the one person who I expected to hear from, I didn't hear from, and then I realized who this person was, and I was just like, yeah, I thought he was my friend, but he's not.
Yeah, that's another thing to go out to say. You know how I went to school upstate, and I went to Ontario High School, so I had like a lot of Caucasian friends. I have a lot of friends that are speaking out and are saying stuff about Black Lives Matter, but then I have friends that used to literally sleep in the house with us.
Right.
And honestly, I felt like it was because you know how it was like back in the day, like very very tough. It was let's chill with her, so we're protected kind of shit.
It's cool to have.
It's cool to have a black friend. Yeah. So it's like I had like a friend. I don't even want to say her name, but she's like really fucking racist. Like on Facebook, like she's really racist. Like she thinks that there is no white privilege and we are animals. We don't want to obey the fucking law. Like
goodness.
She goes on and on and on about this shit on fucking Facebook, and I had to delete her off of Facebook. I'm like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. And it's a lot of them that I went to school with, and I'm just like, damn, you motherfuckers is racist.
See. Here's where, like, because I seen that very prevalent also at my job. Now, my job, I'm currently a sanitation worker for the Department of Sanitation, town of Hempstead. 16 years this November I have been there, right? And I remember I noticed the amount of closet racism I noticed from a lot of these coworkers. So I just kind of go in and I just go, yeah, I saw what you posted the other day. I know now not to fuck with you no more.
It's bringing light to a lot of situations.
But then on the flip side, I kind of sort of respect people that are that blatantly racist, because now it's like, oh, well, at least now I know that you're a piece of shit. Yeah. Because, I went to all-white school when I was in 2nd and 3rd grade.
Yeah, you did.
Out in Seaford. And 2nd grade was great. 3rd grade is where it was horrible.
Let's speak on that. Do you want to speak on that situation?
No, I have no problem speaking on it.
Even though with me, though, like, being at work, like, even going through the whole thing with when Trump, I forgot when it was, but Trump was saying a whole bunch of bullshit. Mm-hmm. And we came to work the next day. We have our morning meetings and everything. And, you know what I mean? It's a whole bunch of white dudes. And it's like 4 black guys in there, workers, whatever. And they talking about it. And they're just like, what I think they're about to say, I think they're about to say, yo, yeah, Trump's an asshole. I can't believe he said that last night. I forgot what he said. Something about, that's what he said, something about, like, oh, we owe, the African Americans owe me, or some shit. He said some crazy shit. He always saying some crazy shit.
That made you feel like, I don't even want to work here.
But then I get to work, and I'm thinking they started bringing it up, or they brought it up or whatever, and they was basically siding with Trump. And I'm just like, yo, it's crazy. They was basically saying everything that he
Why
was saying.
Are you defunding the police?
Yeah,
and they didn't understand
and not
that.
even that. He was just talking about they was talking about even like as in like black people. They're just saying a bunch of stuff, and I'm just like, yo, it's crazy because you work with these people every day,
and you truly never know who they really are,
feel.
and it's like it's bonkers because it's like, not to get political, but like when people talk about defunding the police, and I'm gonna make this quick. People hear defund the police and they hear get rid of the police. No. Defund the police means the amount of money that goes towards keeping the police departments running.
Right.
You can take some of that money and funnel it toward other things. Yeah, like, how about this? Yeah. Like, say if a cop, right, he's accused of using excessive force towards anybody, doesn't matter what race, but let's say if they're accused of using excessive force and they're proven, instead of locking them up, you take away their pension. Right. Mm-hmm. So now they have to live on the outside with nothing as opposed to living on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, but
so
I still feel like they need to be locked up as well, though.
No, they do, but like, what, like,
murder-wise?
No doubt. But listen to this. Like, what's the and if you've seen Straight Outta Compton, they they talk about, listen, going to kill somebody, that's not how you truly hurt somebody. You truly hurt somebody by getting in their pockets. Yeah, that's how you get back at them. Because it's one thing to, oh, what? He's dead now. All right, great. Then somebody else is going to come after you. However, you go and now you strip away
everything
their
that
means
you worked
eat.
for.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how you truly cripple someone. Mm-hmm. So that's what they usually mean by defund the police. Now, I have good friends, people I work with, and people I am still cool with to this day that are NYPD or they
Richard is
moved
NYPD.
to other states.
My stepfather, he's NYPD.
Right. So, like, I'm not one of those guys that hate the police. Mm-hmm. I'll admit they do tend to look after their own a lot, but there needs to be something in place that does hold police more accountable
for their actions.
So that's all I'm gonna say about that. So,
but going back to TikTok, right. You did this TikTok that was so lit. Like the part that got me was when you were like in the corner, you were like in the hallway. And then, like, somehow, you, like, got back into, like, the doorway. Like,
so
how did you edit? Like, how do you edit it to be so...
So, okay, one thing that I've actually gotten good at, or better at, and while on my months in TikTok, was learning how to cut the footage or cut the sound to where... Because TikTok has this function where when you use a sound, right, and you're getting ready to dub anything... You go to the timer menu, and there's a slider where you can stop the audio at a certain point. So say if the audio is 60 seconds, right? Mm-hmm. which average audio is. That's the longest you can make a video, but 60 seconds, right? So say you wanna cut it at 10 seconds. You know, you want to cut it that's 10 seconds, record your line, you go back to the timer. So now what you recorded was like already recorded. So it kind of cuts and pieces it together. So when I walked away, the timer stopped.
So and now you go back.
I went to my room, but I didn't move the camera. I went to my room and then, but I had to hit the 10-second timer to where you hit it. You get 10 seconds to get wherever you need to be. So I hit the 10-second timer, ran in my room, and then I hit it to where it was the next clip was only going to be a second long of me going, this is all the space you need.
Yeah, that shit was that was the part where I was like, you know the fuck what? And then you like put yourself on the balcony. It was like, you want to go on
look at other people?
You want to look at the people?
Look, yo, man, this is vacation, babe. I'm not leaving. You ain't going to just get rid of me or something I said. Something.
You know you have like some guys like that.
Yeah, you know, so TikTok for me was a way for me to keep my creative juices flowing.
Because of the pandemic and everything is closed, so it's like you can't audition.
Go, the theaters are not going to open up anytime soon, which is why this pandemic love play is a nice way for people to see live performances without having to go to the theater.
I feel like a lot of actors are doing
us. Actors can still get paid from it, which is why
because
it's on
you
YouTube.
you did.
That, what's the pandemic? What is that?
Well, like I said before, you know, Pandemic Love is about a fictional app called Pandemic Love, and these two people meet. And my character being such the neurotic person, he overthinks everything. He starts the meeting.
How would you guys do the play? Because you can't.
Well, we filmed it. We filmed it through Zoom, and it's gonna be thrown on YouTube for a fee for you to watch.
So everybody was like in
we're
different places?
We're gonna be having a link up in our bio when they're ready to sell tickets.
Absolutely, so like I filmed my part here in my apartment, and the actress, her name's Maddie.
I seen that on Instagram.
She filmed her part at her apartment, and then the two people who directed it, they were at another location and they recorded it. They recorded the whole thing. They're gonna like stitch together. Yeah.
But are they on Zoom with you guys, like telling you like
they
cut?
are on Zoom? But what they do is when they yell action, they mute themselves and they take away their camera, and then that way you just see us two talking. And we just kind of go. It was not a difficult script to memorize, but it was the way I like to rehearse is. I like to rehearse on a constant basis, right? But and I like to have other people to rehearse with, somebody to like bounce back and forth off of. Yeah. But because we're rehearsing over Zoom once a week, as an actor, when you have a bunch of other things going on in your life, it's a little hard to memorize the lines. But because it was through Zoom, I was able to kind of get through it with the script still there. So I would like kind of cheat to the camera where. If I looked like I was getting nervous and I would look down like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. I'm looking at the script. Yeah. So I'm just like. Yeah.
So you have to get in character kind of by yourself.
As I would not by myself. Well, I mean, if I was doing the play like or rehearsing by myself, I would just kind of read it over and over, or record myself saying the lines, and then I would just listen to it in my ear while I'm cleaning and stuff like that. So. But as we're doing the live performance, keep in mind, when you're doing live performances, you do not have a script in your hand. You have to be memorized. But because it was through Zoom, I was thankfully able to keep the script on deck because I did not have it all the way memorized. And I would just kind of, and going back to what I said before, if I'm speaking to the camera and being that my character was such a neurotic dweeb,
so okay, I get what you're saying.
It worked to my advantage. So I would have like the script by like say by the keypad,
so you could be
I would just be talking, and I would just go, just oh my God, you're just so beautiful. But while I'm doing this, I'm going, what the hell's my next line? And I'm just, you know. And so it was a clever way of cheating while keeping the dialogue snappy and fresh, and while she's talking, I'm just kind of like
still looking at your lines.
Yeah, because I saw the two actors who premiered on Friday. Not as good as me and Maddie, but they were good in their own right. And I can tell why this director chose the performance he did, because you can get different perspectives from obviously different people. Now, no matter how neurotic I make the character, at the end of the day, I'm black.
Period.
So there's going to be certain lines I say that's going to be diametrically different from how this other guy will say, who is white or Hispanic or whatever, you know. Like I'll give you an example.
What's the example? What you call it?
I'll give you an example. So there's a line in the play where I tell this girl I'm starting to break out of my shell, and I tell her, well, because my character is also an accountant. Well, he teaches accounting, and
do you want to check it? This is raw. This is real raw footage right here. So.
Yeah, no, I noticed my phone is ringing, and it might be important.
Check it really quick. I'll keep them entertained.
Sorry about this.
So I picked Stevie to do to do my first episode podcast with me, just because simply that he does acting, and I really want to do my podcast where I'm interviewing people, like people that's black-owned businesses that's coming up through the pandemic, and it's a lot of them. I see them. A lot of them are on Facebook. That a lot of people are going out there. They're going out there using the money that we are getting from unemployment, because there's a lot of people that's like, oh, you're getting unemployment. So what? As long as you're using it in the right way, and we're entitled to that. We worked hard for that. So it's like, it is what it is. But I know y'all been hearing another voice in the background.
It's your boy. You done know. It's your boy Stinger the Don here. Third voice, you know what I mean? I'm just here, man.
He's co-host. He's going to be co-hosting with me most of the time.
You already know. Don't quote us. We here.
And we are under NTS Productions as well. You can also follow us on Instagram at don'tquoteus_podcast. Yeah. And then you can find NTS Production at NTS_productions.
Definitely. And, you know, you already know the vibes. We just coming out, you know what I mean? We're going to have some merch for y'all pretty soon. We're going to be actually giving away merch, honestly.
Having a giveaway?
A lot of free merch. Nah, we're just going to be giving away merch. Fuck it. It's pandemic.
Yeah,
face masks, all types of stuff. So definitely stay tuned.
We're going to try to do this every night. I'm trying to do this where it's like every night at 11 p.m. on all platforms.
Yeah.
So even if it's just us.
Yeah, we had a visual for y'all soon, too. Definitely.
Yeah, we're going to get the visuals. It's going to be on YouTube soon, where you can like kind of see. I know a lot of people like to see the visuals. I like to watch visuals on
definitely
YouTube.
DM us and let us know, like, you know what I mean, different topics you want to talk about. Or,
yeah,
like whatever.
Follow us on Instagram. So I'm going to have it on a daily of what topics that you guys want us to talk about. Mm-hmm. What's going on in the world.
Yeah, I want to stay tuned, man. You know what I mean? I definitely got some new music coming. We got a lot of artists that we're going to have on here. With definitely, like, you know what I mean, a lot of... You see, we got actors, everybody. So, you know what I mean? You want to stay in tune and know what's going on. Also,
we're doing Saturdays. We're going to do the Don't Quote Us. We're going to have ratchet talk. So, majority of the times, we're going to have, I'm not even going to lie. I kind of got this idea from No Adam 22. Shout out to him and his No Jumper podcast. He actually recently just canceled Selena Powell and her other friend. I think her name is AJ. But I actually really like, not to say, like, I like them. Like, they're crazy, but I honestly think it's a character. Like, I don't think they're like that in real life. Like, I feel like they're really smart girls and they're doing shit because it's like, all right, this is what people like. Mm-hmm. Like, people like drama. Like, that's just, it is what it is. Yeah, it's like they're trolling, so. We're not going to be as raw as them because we don't got no people that do what they do, but I kind of just want to be able to, like, my podcast, I want everybody to just be able to come on and say what they want, be free. It's uncensored, so type shit. But
You already know we here, man. Don't quote.
Stevie is back, and we're gonna get back into these questions.
Yeah, I had a emergency matter to take care of, but everything's fine.
Yeah.
So we was talking about Selena Powell. Do you know Selena Powell? Have you heard about her on Instagram?
I have no idea who the fuck.
She's
who is that?
fucking crazy. She's like some fucking chick on Instagram that's like her and her friend. Like her friend was like how she they're hoes of the industry.
Fuck basketball teams.
They fuck basketball teams. Yeah, 11 dicks in one night. Yeah, they actually recently had.
And they made what? They made a career out of this. Just
no, actually
they
went. No, they actually went on fucking Adam 22 No Jumper, their podcast, and he actually
the Snapchat cats, white dude tattoo.
Yeah, him. Yeah, so his like No Jumper.
Yeah,
he fucking he has a podcast, No Jumper.
Yeah.
It's called. He gave them like a segment. It's called like Thotties Next Door, and they like literally fucking. They only had like 3 episodes, and they're canceled. Like he canceled them. Honestly, I feel like he canceled them. I feel like he canceled them because he probably was getting like mad fucking threats from like the rappers and shit.
I bet
they was outing a lot of fucking people. They was out on Waka Flocka, Academics, like a lot of shit like that.
Academics is a whole cornball.
Yeah, that's what the girl was saying though. Like
whatever.
he didn't like that. But anyway. So let's get back into these questions. So recently Chadwick Boseman, am I saying that correct?
Chadwick Boseman.
Boseman.
Yeah.
He passed away. So as a fellow actor to an actor, how did that make you feel? Because I seen that on Instagram that you really took that hard.
I cried. I ain't gonna lie. He was one of the few actors that I looked up to that was able to meet my idol. Denzel Washington, for those who don't know, is my God when it comes to doing acting. That is my Jesus, my Allah, my holy whatever. He's my holy entity when it comes to acting. I worship that man. So Chadwick Boseman, he was put through college through a program that Denzel had provided, and Chadwick Boseman did a speech that I saw, man, where he basically said, "Yo, there is no Black Panther without Denzel Washington."
Yeah,
it was because of him and a lot of the actors that were in that stand on the shoulders of a guy like him and his hard work. And he had so much thanks for him. And it got me here because as a person who idolizes Denzel Washington and see this man who was so thankful for what this man had did and was secretly fighting his own battles this whole time.
Yeah, I feel like that was I ain't gonna lie. I mean, even me, I shed a tear through that too because I'm just thinking about it. I seen even a post where there's like somebody posted like a flashback where he had like a video of himself and he was like, all skinny and everything. Like some people thought he was just getting ready for another role, and then people was calling him a crackhead. People was like, yo,
the internet got real cruel, and it's just like that's when you truly don't know what someone is going through. Like me personally, when I saw the weight loss, right, I assumed maybe it's for a role because 50 Cent caught himself trying to do the same thing, even though it was a movie that went straight to DVD. It was like, that's dedication, but why the hell would you do that? But whatever, that's neither here or there. So that's what I assumed, right? Because then I see he did the Spike Lee movie, The Five Bloods.
Right.
Which I am convinced, and you heard it from me first, that the Oscar will in fact give that man an Academy Award.
Yeah, I seen that you said that.
You heard it from me first. I guarantee you they will. And maybe Delroy Lindo, I think that's his name. Maybe he'll get nominated for Best Lead. Who knows? But going back to your question for the impact that he had on me, I first heard about Chadwick Boseman when he did 42, the Jackie Robinson biopic. And at first I was like, who is this brother? I ain't never heard of him. And then I looked up what he did prior to that, and I'm not going to lie, I didn't see everything that he did, but 42, like a lot of people, that introduced Chadwick Boseman to like the masses. He did this movie with Harrison Ford and a lot of great actors that had him as the lead, and then he portrayed James Brown in Get On Up. He portrayed Thurgood Marshall. And then when I heard rumors and swirlings, because I do a lot of digging when it comes to Marvel, not Marvel, when it comes to movie news, and I like to try to stay in the loop when it comes to movie news and whatnot. And I heard rumblings about Marvel introducing Black Panther for the first time, and I had a list of actors that I thought would be perfect for Black Panther. Chadwick Boseman, being that he was relatively new, he kind of escaped. He didn't make my list because he, was relatively new to the acting game when it came to major Hollywood movies. So when I saw that Marvel brought him out and he was cast, I just said, you know what? He looks like he can be this character. The question is, could he do it? And they said that they introduced him in the Captain America 3 movie, Civil War. And oh my God, I said, they better give this man his own movie. And they did. And I remember talking to all my brothers. I remember talking to all my friends. And I basically said that, this movie has to succeed. It has to succeed. This movie better not fail. And we were just thinking to myself, I'm going all out. In the amount of memes and videos you saw about how people were going to dress at the premiere of Black Panther, it was like people
was dressing up as like
I've never
seen
anything like that other than when I went to this was in 2005. I went to the movies to see this. And
it was like the first black superhero.
First inspirational black superhero with a black director, black writer, black cast. Because technically the first black superhero was Blade.
It was all black.
It was all black.
Like, the way they show like how the intelligence of black people that couldn't be a white director doing that.
Nah,
not gonna lie.
Not to say it wouldn't have been,
but like
it was. You could tell the culture
you could
of
see,
it.
That's why I meant. You could see it was very genuine. Like you could tell, like, you know what I mean. It was like a person that wanted to show a different side.
I'm gonna tell you something that Denzel Washington said. Going back to him real fast, he was asked while promoting the movie Fences, that he also directed. The interviewer asked him why what would be the difference if a white man had directed that movie. He said very brilliantly, he said that it's not a race thing, it's a cultural thing. Because and I'm gonna give you an example. And the example he gave them was because black people, we know what it's like to wake up on a Sunday morning and feel the hot comb on your head and you know what that smells like, right? And there was a young girl in the cast. And he's like, you don't know nothing about no hot comb. You don't know nothing about.
Ow, my ear.
Exactly.
Sit your ass down.
Exactly. The whole cast laughed. Now, imagine if a white director was given that material. Now, I'm not saying a white director can't. And he brought up two directors in particular. He brought up Steven Spielberg when he directed Schindler's List, and he brought up Martin Scorsese when he directed Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg is Jewish. Martin Scorsese is Italian. Now, could Martin Scorsese direct Schindler's List? Sure. Could Steven Spielberg direct Goodfellas? Yeah. Maybe. But being that they have they're part of that culture, they'll be able to they'll be more understanding of the material, and they'll have more of a nuanced way to tell the vision. Now, yes, white people can direct cast with mainly black people. Steven Spielberg did it when he directed The Color Purple. You understand? And then you have black people who could direct all white casts. In particular, off the top of my head, you have people like George Tillman, who directed a movie called The Last Ride. George Tillman is a black man who directed the Biggie Smalls biopic. And then you have people like John Singleton, may he rest in peace. He directed a movie called Abduction. It had the dude from Twilight. It had Lily James, Sigourney Weaver, and Alfred Molina. A predominantly white cast directed by this black director. Same thing when Antoine Fuqua directed King Arthur. Right? It can be done. But it's more organic if you have somebody who actually is part of that culture.
Yeah.
So going back to Black Panther, when they hired Ryan Coogler, a dude straight from the hood, when you hear him talk, you be like, oh yeah, he from Cali, and he's from the hood. He's a year younger than me.
Yeah.
How about that? How about them apples? He's a year younger than me, and it's I swear he reminds me.
That
of one
has
of
to
my
make
homies.
you want to go like harder.
Yeah,
like
it
you
was
have
like,
to
yo,
just keep going.
This dude, he made a name for himself when he directed Fruitvale Station. He had the balls to go up to Sylvester Stallone with a script for a possible spinoff to a franchise that Sylvester Stallone created, and say, yo, I think this would be a dope way to keep the franchise going. And Sylvester Stallone said, let's do it. I looked up your credentials. Matter of fact,
That's how he did it?
That's how he did it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how he did it. And he said, you know what? I'm not going to even touch the script. Ryan Coogler was like, wait, you're not going to touch the script? He goes,
No, I'm gonna
no,
let
why
him
would I
do-
touch this? This is brilliant. Matter of fact, I'm not going to even direct it. You direct it. And he was like,
Wow.
I get to direct you? He goes, yeah, kid, why not? You know, we'll see what happens. And Sylvester
that movie
Stallone
sold.
got it sold so well, and Sylvester Stallone got nominated for an Oscar. How about that? So,
movie, yo.
and circling this back to Chadwick Boseman, he had a very profound impact on how I want to be when I eventually make it to Hollywood, because I will.
You are gonna make it. Manifestation and
yeah.
keep hard work
Oh,
and
yeah.
just keep going and don't give up on your goals.
If you look at all my TikTok videos, the one hashtag I use is Future of Hollywood. And I actually, if you tap Future of Hollywood, you won't see nobody's videos but mine. I swear to God.
But you want to know something else? I have a new phone. I got two phones actually. I got the old phone and I upgraded to the 11 Max Pro.
Okay.
So TikTok, I don't know if everybody else is like this, but I have to watch TikTok. When I'm going to sleep, like when I'm laying down in the bed, like I just literally scroll on
I saw one TikTok you did with him and y'all was in the car or whatever.
Oh yeah, and I was like, what did we do?
It was something like, yo, if I ain't one of these other bitches or whatever, you better.
And it was like when your girl have an attitude.
Something like
some
that.
shit like that.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, but I'm on TikTok, right? So I haven't even made like a new account. I think I did make a new account, but it's nothing on there. You're on the For You page. I'm not even following you on TikTok. So it's like you're on the For You page.
It's funny when I mentioned that my nieces got me into TikTok and my little sisters. They were pissed when they saw that I surpassed them in followers. And they were like, how in the heck? Because they've been on TikTok for like
doing
way
dances
longer and doing dances. And I've only been on TikTok since like the middle of May, beginning of June. And I'm almost at 3,000 followers.
But do you believe that like on TikTok, like you have to have like a certain lighting and a background, like to be like
no.
Like people pay attention to you more when you have like certain lighting. Like you can see how you have like your ring light and
I got the ring light because I wanted to shoot stuff like when the sun goes down, because if you notice on a lot of my TikToks, they will all be shot at daytime.
Yeah.
Because nighttime, it's
And
like
you
the
have
lighting in here. The lighting in here gets a little weird, and I wanted to. I might want to shoot something where all the lights is out and it's very intimate, and I just have the ring light set at like maybe a dim lighting or whatever. I wanted to do something with that, which is why I found this ring light on Facebook Market.
Oh, really?
Somebody was selling it for $60 in Jackson Heights. So I said,
Stevie.
Yeah.
$60. Let me tell you, go on Amazon. The fucking ring light. What do I have? That ring light, that big ass ring light.
See, here's the thing.
But
I went on Amazon before.
It does. You know what it does? It don't have the iPhone holder. No, it does. I just don't know how to fucking hook it up.
See, personally, I saw ring lights on Amazon. They were getting a little outrageous with their prices.
Yeah, some of them are like $119, but you gotta keep. You know me, I'm good with the price.
How much you pay for the one you got?
$30.
That's a good ring light.
See, no,
that shit is big as fuck.
I bet it is, but here's the thing. I couldn't find no ring light.
But you know what people do?
Price.
But you want to know why people always say that I can't find it on Amazon because y'all don't go to the 4 page, the 5 page, the 6, maybe the fucking 12th page. I literally go all the way.
I go to like maybe page 3 and be like, you know what, fuck
this shit.
I'm going to another site.
I keep fucking going. All right, nope. Let's keep going. Or then I go to the filter, lowest price, and then I just I am. I'm like that. I'm very cheap. I don't give. I don't care.
There's nothing wrong with that. But I saw this
$60. I would have sold you mine for $60.
You not selling my? That's mine.
Where was you at when I was trying?
Just like you fucking deleted my Sims.
That's a come up. $30.
It's not his. He's talking about he could sell his ring light.
Another one.
No,
look
I like that one.
The point is, I saw this ring light and I was like, "Oh snap!" I think. Now, and you know what? And that ring light I got, that was like my second attempt at trying to buy a ring light because the first attempt, some dude in Cambria Heights.
But you want to know something? The ring lights don't go that high. They don't a lot of them don't go. That's another thing. Fam. So it's like some of them just go this high.
That's what I mean. Yeah. That's another reason why I got that one because it told me how high.
I'm not even gonna lie. If I
go high.
Yeah, but it's hard to find like a one like that. Yeah, like you gotta be fucking. The ones like ours, it'd probably be like what. Fucking 150.
Yeah,
you have to like really.
So when
search.
I found that one and I saw it was only 60, it beat a lot of prices I saw on Amazon that had that same thing. Mm-hmm. It was like, so I said whatever.
Fuck it,
because
I get it.
This
and
one
it's for
dude,
TikTok. So and a lot of YouTubers have that right there.
But it's funny because I also
they don't have the one I have is like a beauty girl, like you're getting makeup and stuff like that.
I saw on TikTok that a lot of girls use their ring light for that, but that ring light actually came in handy when I did Pandemic Love. I told the guy that I had a ring light, and he goes, "You do?" Mm-hmm. Yo, and I showed him that during one rehearsal that it has different lighting functions. That it has a regular light, it has a warm light, and it has a cool light. Mm-hmm. And you can set it to how bright or dim you want it. So we did so, and it ended up making my video for Pandemic Love look so much better. Mm-hmm. So. Because originally I was going to shoot Pandemic Love with my phone, but thankfully my laptop, because my laptop was down for a little while, but I finally got it fixed in time for Pandemic Love, and it came out really well. The actress who I acted alongside, we had to kind of act around her schedule because she was doing a film at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And
she's actually really good too. I seen her on your Instagram story. I seen that you guys was like acting. And like little skits and stuff like that. I seen that.
So really what I
her personality is
it's very
it's
you
uppity
could tell.
And,
she a couple of people thought
and bubbly.
Oh my goodness. So a couple of people thought that this was an actual Zoom date, and
I wanted to get into that too. Your dating life, like
it's like
girls are so weird. This generation is so weird,
and it's to a point where.
Do you think that social media has like more to do so with like dating in this like generation? Like why people don't really stay together so long?
Say that again. I apologize.
Do you think that like social media plays like a big part on why like people don't stay together as long as they used to and back in the day? Also with music too. Like I feel like it has to do a lot with music.
I do believe that it could be it's a mixture of that and a mixture of girls nowadays just being incredibly picky because social media does have a huge
like they see these memes that's like not like a lot of fucking guys don't do that, so it's like, and then not to say not giving guys like a
lot
excuse.
Of girls just want to be hoes.
Yeah, a lot of girls want to be hoes. Like it's a lot of fucking industry hoes that's like
that's being made. Like back when we was growing up, they wasn't having.
It was like a lot of love songs. Like I feel like
low key slutty songs. Now it's just
like it was like a shame to be a hoe.
There was a song that came out in like 95.
But it was like a shame to be a hoe. But it was like a shame. Like when you was listening to that back in the day, it's like
put that thing in the back of my throat. That's crazy.
Well, no, but okay, it's funny that you mention that because There's a video. There's a trend going on where a bunch of girls from that grew up in the '90s is like, this chick ain't saying nothing new. And
Uchi Wally Wally Uchi Bang Bang. I seen Tammy Waka Flocka's I seen Tammy's Waka Flocka's wife. She has said like, oh, I don't have WAP, I have Uchi Wally Wally Bang Bang, some shit like that. Like back in the day they had that. But like, I feel like back in the day it was like fucking, like if you was a hoe it was like, bitch, who are you? Like now it's like, if you're a hoe, like you gotta finesse a nigga. Or like you hear City Girls, you hear Saweetie, like you hear all these girls that's coming up being rappers, Dream Doll, and they're all, it's not to say that they're hoes in real life, but their music to like women is just like, yeah, fuck that nigga, like I'm about to run up a fucking bag.
What you call it? I honestly feel like when it comes to certain, like when it comes to my dating life, right? I've attempted to try to. I kind of took a break after my last relationship that ended in 2018, and I was convinced at one point that she was the one because of the circumstances we met. It was something out of a movie. It was like, I'm getting off work, I'm in a deli, this girl walks in, my dude Archie, who I love from the bottom of my heart, he reminds me of my dad in more ways than one. In the same age, same skin tone, we're both dark skinned, beautifully dark skinned, mind you, alright? And he got this girl to like give him her number, and he sent it to me on Facebook because how I met her was like, I'm just kind of, he was just like, yo, Steve, you all right, man? Why are you looking so down? I'm just like, bro, man. I'm just like, yo, like, I think I was turning 31 that year. And I was just like, yo, man, by the time my dad was my age, he was married with like 4 kids. What the hell am I doing with myself? And then he was like, well, you know what, man, some people, they get it early or they find it later in life. And then he used himself as an example. He initially started over when he turned 40. So I said, I guess you're right. So I ordered my food, and I'm just leaning up against this pole, and I'm on my phone. In comes this girl who I've never seen before. Keep in mind, I was living at home, and I frequent that deli quite often. She claimed she knew Roosevelt, and I said, I've never seen you before. It was like out of a movie. So she comes in, and she starts, like, she has the same look on her face, just like, and Archie starts. And the one thing about Archie, he talked to anybody. Like my mother, how she can literally have a conversation with anybody. So, boom, right? He started talking to her, and essentially got the same conversation out, right? And he was just like, oh, it sounds like you need a man in your life. So she says, yo, you know how hard it is to find a man who's single, with no kids, in his 30s, with a good job, and all this other stuff. And I remember I heard her saying this, and I just kind of looked up and was like, huh. And then I look at Archie, and he's just like, he's staring at me hard.
There you go, Stevie.
He's staring at me so hard because I know he's about to put me on the spot. So I just kind of went like, gesture under the throat, like, yo, chill, fam, you don't. But I didn't say anything. I was just like, yo, because I know he's about to do something. He says, yo, why don't you holler at my man's right here? And I said, Archie, what the fuck? And he was like, what? He calls me Batman because a lot of my work gear has the Batman emblem on it. And I'm dark skinned, so he calls me the Dark Knight, aka the Batman. So he calls me, he goes, well, what's wrong, Batman? I just said, so I walked up to the register, and I just said, how much, because my food was ready. And I said, how much is my food? He was like, $7, Batman, grinning hard as hell, because he knows what he just did. So I gave him my money, he gives me my food, and I look at the girl, she's just kind of like, just looking around.
Waiting for you to make a move.
And I couldn't have got out that deli fast enough. I mean, when I say I darted out that, I practically ran like, I gotta get out of here as fast as possible. I bolted to my whip. I sped down Nassau Road as fast as I could. And Archie called me later that day saying, yo, Steve, what's going on? And I just said, yo, Archie, man, what the fuck? You play too much. He's like, yo, relax. All right? hear me out. Yo, she was asking about you. I said, yeah, right, nigga. Like, goddamn, like, I ran out of there like a goddamn geek. She ain't gonna have no interest in my ass. So, yada, yada, yada. He goes, yo, if she come here again, I'll get her number for you. And I said, dog, when we ain't never seen this chick before, what are the chances she comes back in this deli?
Nah, she was coming back in that deli.
He said $10, says you're wrong. And I went, fine. So the next day, I get to that deli at the same time. I don't see her. I don't see him. So I'm thinking, all right, doesn't work today. Well, there goes that. Whatever. That's neither here or there.
Yeah.
So I go, I get some food. I go home. I rest. He calls me around 2 in the afternoon. Says, yo, check your inbox, Batman. I said, what's in my inbox? He says, thank me later. Click. And I went, wait, what? I checked my inbox on Messenger. This chick left her number. She left her number, and I'm like, oh crap, there's the number. Now I started regressing back to how I felt when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I just went, crap, well, what do I say? What do I do? I started
Butterflies
overthinking.
in your stomach. It's like, what do you do?
I started overthinking like my best friend JD.
As if you were in their new play, Pandemic Love.
Oh my God. So I just kind of sent her a text saying like, yo, listen, I met you in the deli today. My boy Archie, he an asshole. I'd like to know more about you. Mm-hmm. And she says, I'll call you when I get off work. I'm a waitress at Olive Garden. So I said, bet. So later that day, she calls me. I'm like, oh my God, my phone's ringing. That's the number. And then I had to play it cool. So I just I picked up the phone and I was just like, yo, hello? And because that's how I usually, I have a naturally deep voice, but usually that first conversation, I bring it down real down here, like Barry White, like, Secret Garden,
Hey, how you doing? Yeah. Swaggy.
Kind of. So,
but going back to to the play on Pandemic Love,
right.
So you said that it's a gay couple on there.
Yeah.
That is actually, I'm sorry, y'all, that's KJ in the back. So going back to Pandemic Love, you said that there's like a gay couple on there. So how do you feel about the Burger King and Ronald McDonald kissing each other on the logo? They're like introducing it. 1 second, you guys. Babe. Babe. I'm gonna have to cut this part out. Take him out. Take him out. I almost got through with no editing. Go take his ass. KJ, go. Yeah, you scared of Stevie. Go. I wish I had my spot swap.
Yeah, you need to cut this part out.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it out. I'm gonna cut out this part. Babe, give him. No, I could always cut this part out. I could edit it out. Take him on the balcony. Give him some from fresh air. KJ, cut it out. Why are you screaming?
Yeah, the bride should be there. Let them know. All right.
Babe, what you put his shoes on out there because I don't know how to cut it out that long. I know. Why weren't you on the podcast too? Because you came?
Yeah, because he's over there because he wanted me to take him to the hospital, pick him up.
Oh yeah, he's at the.
I knew I was doing this.
Oh yeah.
But he's ready to leave.
It's hard at the hospitals though, like when you. Okay, so back to like the podcast when I was saying, not the podcast, the play when I was saying like your Pandemic Love. So they have a gay couple on there, right? So how do you feel about like the Burger King and Ronald McDonald, like the mascots of the both companies, like kissing each other for the LGBT community? Have you seen that?
No, I did not.
They're actually kissing each other. It's like a big controversy like on Instagram. They're actually kissing each other. I'm gonna say my opinion first. I feel like they're targeting kids. I feel like, okay, they're trying to normalize it, but as us, it's normal. I'm all for it. I'm all for the LGBT community because I have a lot of friends that's in the LGBT community. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like they've never did that where it was like Ronald was kissing a girl or the Burger King mascot was kissing a girl. So it's just like, why make them kiss each other, you know? I feel like they're like at this point it's like targeting kids and kind of confusing kids because it's just like they don't understand it. I feel like they don't understand it. So it's like, why push it out there? It's like, I get that they're trying to normalize it and I get that they're trying to make them feel okay. But I feel like at that point it's kind of too much. Do you feel the same way or you feel differently?
My thoughts on, I didn't see the picture. So I gotta just kind of give just how I feel about it in general. It's like, it doesn't really affect me in any way. Like if two people of the same sex, whether it be men or to women, if they want to date and they want to get married,
I'm all for that.
I just say whatever. Like as far as the McDonald's mascot and the Burger King mascot doing that, it sounds like it's a little unorganic. But then again, I didn't see it. But because then you have to like explain that because
like why
they haven't done that in all the years.
It was always versus them, like they hate each other, like they're always going back and forth.
Yeah, so it's like now you kind of have to like find your way around that because it's like, well, McDonald's hasn't used the Ronald McDonald mascot in a long time actually. So the fact that they now decide they want to bring back the clown and use him as a means to target the as a means to give the gay community representation. It just seems a little
off.
It just seems a little off. So it's
I feel like I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to normalize it. They're trying to make the LGBT community. One second. I feel like they're trying to make the LGBT community normalize it, feel comfortable in a sense. But I just feel like at a point, it's like, when do we protect our children? Because at the same time where we go through, we don't let kids watch movies, adult movies. We don't let them. I was always growing up that if a kissing scene came up, I would close my eyes. So it's just like, to have that on the internet, and I'm sorry to say, like, there's a lot of kids that's on the internet. They do TikTok, they do Dub Smash, it's a lot of things that they do to say, oh, keep the kids off the internet. This is just a new generation. A lot of kids I know, like, as my kid, he's not on the internet, but he's a baby. But I have little cousins that are on the internet, and I feel like it's kind of confusing in a sense, but I'm all for it. I just feel like, I don't know. Maybe I just don't know. I just feel like it's kind of confusing in a sense. But yeah, so going back to that, I just feel like it's kind of confusing. I just don't get why they did that. I feel like if they were going to do that, at least in a sense, like, to make it, a choice wise, is do it where one character is kissing a girl and one character is kissing a boy. Kind of, in a sense, because I have a kid that's growing up in this generation, and it is different. I feel like everybody can say that I have some friends that are out there, and they're saying that it's easier to come out of your show now because of the LGBT community. Like, a lot of people with social media, even bullying, goes to say, like, going back to bullying, like, it was a lot of bullies growing up in school, and it was like a cool thing, and it was like everybody was scared of the bullies, but it's a lot of people that's stepping up to bullies now, and it's just like, we're not doing this. Like, it wasn't a lot of people. It's like a lot of people is like, what do they have that saying? If you're quiet, you're a coward. Like, it wasn't a lot of people like that. So that's just going back to saying that maybe they should give them a choice. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't want to speak that much on it. That's just my opinion. I'm sorry. You can't fault me for my opinion, but we're kind of going to come up to wrap this podcast up. We actually had a good conversation. This podcast is really going to be built on just rawness. Like, come on here, say what you got, say what you feel. If you don't give a F, you don't give a F. I felt like Stevie was like a really, really good host. So Stevie is back.
Yeah. The Ronald McDonald mascot and quote controversy. It's just like it doesn't really affect me in any way. I just say, you know what, if that's what they want to do, then, you know, just let them rock. But the one thing I do implore is that my, you know, because the one thing I like to try to do, and I remember my coworker asking me, how does he, you know, because he has a 3-year-old son, but he also has a 21-year-old daughter.
Two totally different generations.
Exactly. So he was just asking me, well, Steve, like, is there a way I could, you know, like, say if my son sees two men kissing?
How do you explain that? That's like me, like KJ. How do you explain that?
Well, the one thing I say is, listen, if you see that, don't bully them. Mm-hmm. I personally don't think that that's what people might consider normal, but I'm not homophobic. I have a lot of friends.
But that goes back to say is were you born that way? Like, a lot of people don't agree with saying, are you born that way? I totally agree with being, are you born that way? Because not to say, it's a lot of kids that if you go back and you look at their photos, you can tell. Like, as a mom, you know, like, you always know if your kid is going to be delayed, autism, like, you know, you might be in denial.
Right.
But I feel like it is, are you born that way? Are you born in a different body that you were supposed to be in? And it's just... I feel like that. I feel like you don't just grow and be like, oh, I'm gonna. But some people, I don't know. It's hard to speak on that subject.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I'm not part of that community, so you know, my opinion doesn't really matter either way. As far as whether you're born that way, I don't know. I guess sometimes I say yeah, and sometimes I say no, because like what. So if you're born that way, then what is it? What genes or chromosomes that are inside you that will cause you to like the same sex?
But I feel like it's the same way as if a person doesn't fucking like tomatoes. I don't like tomatoes, and it's like, not to say like, it's like, I feel like it's like that. Like, if you don't like tomatoes, it's like, all right, I don't like tomatoes, but I like oranges. Like, I don't like boys, but I like girls. Like, I don't like girls, but I like boys. Like, it's just that. So. And it's like, I feel like that's more so of like people like having a hard thing of coming out of their shell, because when they're growing up, it's like, oh, you're not supposed to play with dolls. You're supposed to play with cars, or, you know, it's like a hard thing. I guess so, because it's like,
I mean, all right, if you want to use that as a example, like if you look at the personalities of me and all my siblings, well,
it's totally different.
All different human beings. Yeah. Like
you all have your different personalities.
Yeah, Stefan is very much into music.
Skater type. Right?
He's a very skater, like, you know, jet life, wave, I love peace and harmony and weed type of dude.
Rasta.
And yes. You have a guy like Shaquille, who's very laid back. Right? Chill. You got a guy like Shaquem, who can't sit still.
He has to be on the move.
He has to be on the move.
I gotta get up. I gotta go.
Right. I'm convinced he doesn't watch TV because he can't sit still for too long.
I don't think Shaquem. Right? I don't think Shaquem knows any of the fucking shows that's on TV. No, I don't think he watches TV at all.
He doesn't watch TV. He doesn't watch TV. So he can't sit still, where Shaquille doesn't mind laying down all day. So yeah, when it comes to when it comes to like my siblings, they all have different personalities. You know, like as much as I can tell them and kind of give them
advice,
you know, advice about how to, you know, do certain things, in the end they're gonna do what they want because that's just how they are. You know, now
but that's the difference when you have like different, because you're different people. It's different people in the world. So it's like me, on the other hand, I'm just I'm the only child. So it's like I be feeling like I feel like people are just like me all the time, but it's not, because I've never had like that sibling living in the house where it's just like, all right, that person,
my ex-girlfriend
like
was an only child, but her problem was she couldn't relate to the fact that I like to hang with my siblings from time to time.
I can't relate to that. I can't relate to that. I'm just gonna say that because we don't. But
here's the thing: don't bash your significant other.
Oh yeah, no, wants to. Totally not. I just don't relate to that.
Like me and Stephon was supposed to go to the movies to see Mission Impossible 7 or Mission Impossible 6. She was all like,
"Why?"
Well, I didn't know you wanted to see that. We can see that together. And then I looked at her and goes, "Why the hell you ain't saying? You know this is what I like to do."
And then right? Not even so. I want to do it with my brother. This is what we do.
You know, or my mom needed me one day. She calls me. I was napping because I just got home from work. And she wakes me up out my nap, which I don't like, by the way. My mom needed me, so I helped her. But I hang up. My ex-girlfriend felt like she needed to interject her opinion. And I was like,
"Girl,
what?"
bye.
And I looked at her. She was like, "She couldn't have called anybody else." I said, "No."
Because she doesn't.
Exactly. And
but I felt like, how was her relationship with her parents? Because even if you are the only child, if you are there for your parents physically, emotionally,
a part of me
it's like you don't have a relationship with them.
Well, her relationship with her mom was kind of
rough. It had to be.
But then her mom was dying of cancer.
But still, at the same time, so that's an example. If your mom is dying from cancer, if you don't have, because I feel like if you have a relationship, you're gonna always want to be there. So it's gonna like
that's why and listen, I don't brag about myself, but I'm convinced I'm the only dude she's ever been with that's challenged her in that way. I don't know,
because she probably had dudes that don't really have a relationship with their mom.
Well, not necessarily that. I feel like she didn't deal with a lot of guys that was ready to challenge her. That was just like a yes man. She was
agreed
used to
everything they say.
Yeah, she was used to a lot of things, and because she thought I was a geek, she was trying to be very controlling.
I'm gonna step all over you type shit.
Yeah, but then I had to let her know I'm not that guy. I don't know what you thought I was, but if you say another thing, if you throw subliminals at my mom again,
you're out the fucking door.
All right, because let's because first of all, you're in my place. All right, I pay the rent here. I help too. Thanks for the $50 for the groceries. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's why I'm making that face. It's like, girl.
It's like. So it got to that point where, and then Keefe happened, and that was tragic. Her reaction to that whole situation where we were all having a little memorial.
Literally right up the block from your house. It was literally right there.
So I see that cross every day I go to
work. I know. It has to be like.
After I dropped,
I don't even go that way from work.
A fight almost broke out. Shaquem. Emotional Jody baby boy.
I was there. Yeah, I was there because he wanted
to snatch some sneakers.
Because as you should. That's just something that's your brother, and you feel like I just want a piece of him with me. So it's like.
But I also understood why people felt like that those sneakers should remain there. Because, well, listen.
I feel like as his brother, you should just not say nothing.
No, I understand that, but it's like if you have like flowers at a grave. You wouldn't take these flowers.
But that's a grave site. It's different.
Well, that's the site where he was
When you're
killed.
Mourning, it's like when you're mourning, it's like, especially when it's like a situation, it's just like, that's a brother, that's a sibling. Like, that's the...
You're talking to me.
I know, yeah. So it's like...
You know, but at one hand, it's like, all right, I'm going to have these sneakers, and I'm going to look at these, every day.
And more so, I feel like people really didn't know who he was.
It's going to be a constant reminder of the last pair of sneakers he ever wore. I'd rather it be somewhere where he's memorialized and not just in my house collecting dust.
Yeah, that's true.
It be displayed
because that was the sneakers that he did get.
A lot of people don't agree with that, but I get
like, for
why.
instance, like Kadeem has his, what is that, a family heirloom on your wrist?
Right.
So that was like his grandma's.
Yeah. Now,
it's different when it's like that.
Nah, that I understand. But a pair of sneakers it's just a pair of sneakers that he wore that I don't even think those were his favorite pair of sneakers. But it was just like I when I saw Shaquem trying to do so, I said,
it's
bro, I think you should just leave those right there. But then
them.
these cats tried to jump down his throat, and a fight almost broke out. Thankfully, no fight
there.
broke out. I take them home, and
I got them in the car. I had to calm myself down too,
the light-skinned dude
because I'm just like, all right, if I go fucking crazy right now, then it's everybody's gonna go crazy.
He said something to me as we was putting the sneakers back. And he's like, and I was just like, all right, them sneakers better be there later too. He's like,
I literally, that's the way.
He's like, what's that supposed to mean? I said, bro,
they better be there.
They better be there later. And I walked off, right? So I told my ex-girlfriend this. Instead of sympathizing and saying like, listen, I get it, everybody's emotions are on like a trail and you just lost your brother. She says to me, oh, well, what, you a thug now or something? Yeah, exactly. So I was like, what the fuck? Like, listen, I was 31 at the time. I never, ever thought about putting my hands on a female.
Yeah.
But holy shit, we were by my door entrance. And I almost wanted to throw her through a wall, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
So, for the most part, G, it just kind of, that last relationship just kind of started to go down from there. And it was just, it wasn't a good look. So, I just kind of felt like, even though I thought it was meant to be, it just wasn't.
Yeah.
And a lot of that was my fault too. I'm not gonna lie. I invited her to live with me, only being with this chick for like not even 4 months. The hell was I thinking?
Yeah.
But I was like kind of in love with her.
Yeah.
Because she saved me from depression, which was something that was crippling me at the time.
Right.
And then she comes out of nowhere, almost like a guardian angel. I said, yo, this is, and I kept telling myself, yo, this is it.
Yeah.
All my prayers are answered. I'm gonna do everything for this girl.
KJ. Yo, he's bugging out right now.
Hey, you want some ice cream?
Yeah, but man, I don't know, man.
So I just felt like, yo, as dysfunctional as, like, you look at, like, for example, you look at the time you and Nunu have with one another.
Right.
Y'all been through your ups and downs and all arounds.
Yeah.
You understand? But the fact that y'all were able to last as long as you have is a testament to the commitment you two have made with one another, even if it hasn't always been sunshine and rainbows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She was treating this relationship as if we were together for years. And I was like, shorty, I haven't even known you half the year, not even a year. Now, yes, a lot has happened in these 4 months. Me meeting her, I was able to, she invigorated my need to find my own place.
Yeah.
I was still living at home.
She helped you.
She invigorated my passion. She helped me in a sense. And I found this apartment and I was like, yo, this is meant.
Mm-hmm. And it so happened that she just wasn't a part of the plans.
No.
But going back to the questions and going on to a lighter note, how do you feel about the 007 new movie that's about to come out? Or did it come out already?
No, it was supposed to come out in April, but COVID hit and pushed it all the way back.
I've seen the trailer. The trailer's been going around on Instagram. So how do you feel about that movie?
It looks like it's gonna be pretty amazing. The director, There's a man named Corey. I believe he's a Japanese director, and he hasn't. I don't think he's directed a Bond movie before, but it looks like it'll be a nice change of pace compared to the other Bond movies. I saw the trailer, and the way it looks like it was shot.
It looks like he has. It's a different kind of scene. Like you see him in a different light because there's like a girl involved.
Absolutely, and it's Daniel Craig's last foray as playing this character of James Bond. And I remember at the beginning of the year, knowing that this movie was supposed to come out at the beginning of April, I had all these movies that me and the fellows were all gonna go see. Like, and we think about we're like approaching autumn, and we think about all the movies that we hadn't seen because of COVID, like Black Widow, Fast and Furious 9.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Candyman.
They're still making Fast and Furious movies.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they are making a new Candyman.
They made a Candyman reboot, and it got pushed
because the
back
pandemic,
to 2021.
everything is closed.
It was supposed to come out.
So when is AMC supposed to be opening?
See, that's the thing.
I feel like isn't it opening already? Like didn't they open
not
it?
in New York.
No, everything is not in New York.
AMC is open in Connecticut and in Jersey, which a lot of people are going like. Man,
that's why we were supposed to go last night. I'm not even gonna lie. Me and Kadeem was gonna go to we was gonna go to Jersey to a hookah lounge because we were still tired of being in the house.
I'm not gonna lie.
But still stay
Stanford,
safe.
Connecticut is literally only
distancing.
an hour from here. Mm-hmm. I've traveled the same distance to take acting classes, so I said, "F it." And I've already been out to Stanford for auditions or whatever, and I said, "Yo, I thought about going out to Stanford, but on the weekends I just wake up. I'm so beat up from work. I just go.
I'm about to lay right here.
Need to go out there just to see this movie." Because there's a movie theater like 10 minutes down the road from here that I used to always frequent ever since living out here. So it was just like the fact that now this movie that I've been looking forward all year to seeing, I have to now travel so far to see it. It's like it's a little annoying. But now to answer your questions, when do I think the AMC theaters is going to open in New York? It's kind of hard to say. And going back to what I was talking about, they've opened the
gyms, correct?
The gyms are open, but the movie theaters is gonna fall into like the last phase when it comes to like
how do you do the outdoor?
The movie theaters, the outdoor sporting events, WWE, little things like that. That's gonna be in like final phase when it comes to New York.
Whenever that's gonna happen, because I heard that it's supposed to be a new hit that's supposed to hit us in October, November. And
if you know anything about like vaccines. If you know anything about vaccines or whatnot, you know that when a new strand of virus is usually unleashed into the public, it usually takes about a year or a year and a half for a working vaccine to be made. Like, you think about... I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going for the first round of... No. I'm not doing the first... You're not going to use me as a guinea pig because it's going to be a lot of... I don't want to say... Oh, snap, that didn't work. Damn, that's crazy. Like, you think about smallpox, you think about Ebola that ravaged the world back in like 2000. But we didn't really hear that much because of the president that we had. Well, yeah, because he tackled it early. He tackled it early. He contained it early, and we weren't where we are now, to where we have to walk around with masks and all this other shit. And President Trump, he went publicly and said that he admitted that he downplayed it, which was like, wait, so you knew how serious this was and you just hoped it would just go away? Like, this was like... He's not politically... Well, that's another conversation for another day. I know, but like, holy crap, dude. It just kind of... But it sickens me. But to wrap this up and to say, you've been doing your thing. Yeah. You've been on TikTok. You've been casted for a new play. You probably gonna be casted for more. Hopefully, manifestation. Yeah. Right. During the pandemic, you're still doing your thing. Not a lot of actors could say that you're doing your thing. So. I just want you to tell everybody your handle and let everybody know where they can find you at. All right, so on Instagram, I'm Stephen D. Clark Jr. Facebook, I'm Stephen D. Clark. TikTok, I'm Stephen Clark JNR. Twitter, I'm Stevie D. Clark. Shit. What else, man?
Yeah, you said TikTok already, right?
Say what?
You said TikTok?
Yeah, I said TikTok.
Yeah.
I would plug my YouTube, but nobody watches
plug
it.
your YouTube. You don't know. It's so many people out in the world that's literally just like you. I have to tell my friends that all the time. Like, do YouTube. Like, do YouTube.
Because it's gaming content. I play video games
It's a
for
lot
YouTube.
of gaming is like literally number one, and besides vlogging and family channels, because everybody's like so obsessed with that.
Right.
Gaming is literally number one.
Yeah, all right, so
I'm gonna do a gaming channel for Sims.
That'll be hilarious.
Because I'm gonna show I built a whole fucking city in Sims. That's why I was so mad that Kadeem deleted my thing off his PS4.
So yeah, my YouTube is my name as well, Stephen D. Clark. I do gaming videos. I'm currently playing the remake to Final Fantasy VII, which is easily game of the year. And I'm not gonna get into why I love it, but it's holy crap, easily mine. And it has now entered my top 5 favorite video games of all time. So that's what I'm currently playing for YouTube, and that's really it. And we're gonna Pandemic Love. My segment's gonna premiere sometime this week. That'll hopefully I'm gonna throw it on my Instagram,
and it's gonna be on our Instagram at Don't Quote Us _podcast on Instagram. And we're going to have the link in our bio. Also, we're going to be doing visuals sooner. We're going to have our visuals up. We're going to have Stevie back on our podcast with the visuals.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
He's most likely going to probably be like co-hosting, starring in our podcast a lot.
Yeah.
So we also have...
Yo, you're Stinging the Don. You already know. Don't quote us. We'll be back again.
With NTS Productions, and this was a good podcast. I'm so happy that I literally interviewed Stevie. Like, when he blows up, I'm gonna be like, I was the first one that interviewed him, so can't nobody tell me nothing. Yeah. So we are going up from here. Yeah, we going up from here. Yes, it's gonna literally, people gonna be like, it's gonna be like on a shade room. Like, they're gonna be like, yo, going back. You know, like when the actors go back.
About the gay community?
I know. No, well, we ain't really say nothing bad. That's our.
You know how people get. You know,
our opinion. Anyway, when you come on this podcast, you are raw. You let your hair down. You say what you want, and that is what it is. So thank you for tuning in to Don't Quote Us at _podcasts. And that's it. We're out. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Yeah.
Every night at 11 p.m. And we're out. Bye-bye.
Peace.